everybody. What's up? We are back. I know
Hey,
y'all like,
can I get a little, can I
yo.
get a round of applause over here, please?
Right. It's
Yeah.
my fault. It is totally my fault. I know y'all like, where in the world was Joncea? Where's Joncea? I actually like the Joncea show. Like, so many people kept like asking me, like, where's your show? Where's your show? And believe it or not, guys, everyone's been calling me from the production company, the studios. Everybody's speedy. Everybody's like, "Where's John Cena? I want her. I want her. We like the John Cena show. I want her back. This and that. This and that." And I would just go on living my little fake LA life, whatever this mess is. And then I'm at the Redskin bar on Sunday, and this white guy named Sage, and I have to say this white guy because I'm trifling to say he's the reason why. I mean, just a random guy. He's like, "Yo, I love the John Cena show. Like, where is it? Where is it? I haven't seen it." And I'm like, you know what? This must be a sign. It's 11:11 right now, and I know y'all like. Well, it's 11:11 on the clock that's in front of me. It looks like the clock that's in front of me is a little fast, but it says 11:11. Y'all know that's my number, so I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be talking to y'all, and I am excited for the guest I have today. The lady I have today is my boo, my baby, my bookie. I'm telling you, she's my niece. She's like a niece to me. We met, and I'm gonna let her. I'm gonna let her tell you a little bit of the story. But I want to introduce Miss Porchia Carter to the John
Hi.
Cena Show.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
Porchia, I'm so glad that to come back to have you as my first guest.
I'm honored. Thank you for having me. I feel very special.
I just think people have no idea of you, of how dope you are, how powerful you are at your age.
Wait a minute.
I don't know if you want to tell people your age, but just how much of an inspiration you are to so many of us. And I'm
Wow.
almost double your age. Well, not really, but I got some years on you, and I couldn't let you leave. I literally had to do the John Cena show on a special day, which is usually on Friday, but I had to call and be like, you know what? I
Hey,
can't.
Tuesdays are my favorite day of the week.
Is it?
Yes.
It's like I can't let this girl go without doing a show for her. But before we really get into you, I want to say what's up to everybody in the chat. I see you guys watching live. I appreciate you guys. And if you guys are watching this playback, I also appreciate you too. Love you guys. Thank you for supporting me always. No matter what way you do it. Thank you so much for just supporting me and walking this dream with me. And what's up, Nick? Like,
Won't he do it?
Nick is the off
Won't he do
camera
it? You know, I missed you, John C.
production.
You know
I
what I'm
missed you
saying?
too.
I told you you
man.
remind me of my little sister, so you know what I'm
Little
saying?
sister, but I'm older than you.
You still remind me of my little sister. That don't mean nothing to me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
I remind you of her. I thought you was
Yeah, I
like,
missed you,
you
man.
like my little sister. I'm like,
Yeah, I be needing your energy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, it's funny you say that. Not that this is about me. It's 11:11 now. Oh, see? Not that this is about me, but when I was working on this television show, they would literally schedule me to come in when I didn't even have nothing to do. They just would be like, "We just need your energy here." Like they would
Wow.
pay me just to be there
That's
and
powerful.
stand around. They was like, "We just need your energy. We just need."
That means you're an atmosphere shifter.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
That's a
Yeah.
real job. Kanye does that a lot.
Wait a minute.
He
what?
hires people to just hang out in the studio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying they was calling him to do that.
No, but yeah, that's a real job. So yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
it's a blessing to just be whoever I was created to be, and
Okay.
unapologetically myself. But
Amen.
Miss Carter,
Hi.
hey girl, hey girl. So let's talk about it. Who are you?
I am first and foremost a daughter of the King of Kings, and a purpose-driven creative. People like to ask you what you do to try to ask you who you are. And I have so many gifts and talents. I'm an author, I dance, I'm a talk show host, I write, I do so many things, I produce. And so it's like I am not in this box.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm not in this box, I have freedom within myself because I gave myself this freedom
Mm-hmm.
to be able to use each and every gift that I have for whatever purpose I have for that moment.
Amen.
And so I consider myself a purpose-driven creative.
That Come on, Nick. Nick.
What?
Nick.
You
You
said,
ever heard somebody say they're a purpose-driven creator?
won't he do it?
Lord, come on, man.
Won't he
No,
do
for
it?
real, that's me. It's
That's
like
dope.
because I can't tell you I'm one thing.
Yeah.
I can't tell you. I can tell you that I am creative because my father. Remember, I'm the daughter of a king. My father is creative, so
Amen.
I'm creative automatically. But when it comes to what do you do? Who are you? When you start attaching labels and titles and things to who you are, you kind of put yourself in a box of one situation.
And you diminish.
And I'm not none of that. I do whatever I
everything.
need to do with what he blessed me with in order to be productive in my purpose.
Come on now, because you forgot to say makeup artist. Because
Oh, you can't makeup artist?
she did a whole makeup class yesterday. I learned how to do my makeup. Now y'all ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing.
And she did her own face.
When I hit the scene.
There
Okay.
you go.
And not only did I do my own face,
No,
I did
no.
my own face. She's
You
like,
did
no,
your
no,
own
don't
face.
Don't say
Amen.
I gotta be real with my people. I gotta be real. I did my own face yesterday and slept in this makeup. I got that from Tyra Banks, and sometimes I'll be going on set and they bang my makeup and I sleep in it and don't wash my face, and that's what I did today because I wasn't gonna waste no makeup. The class was almost at night. I slept just like this. And it's still there. Is it not still there? It's not as potent, but
She out here embarrassing me.
that's how my family used to be. Joncea.
Wait
like,
up.
what?
Wait a minute.
Freedom. I tell everything. What?
Help us,
What y'all
Lord.
need?
We ain't got no censor. Wait a minute.
Portia, like, do not tell nobody you slept in that makeup. First of all, when I told her I was sleeping in makeup, she was like, "Don't
Absolutely
you
not.
dare! Don't you dare!" Yeah, I went right to sleep. Woke up,
Oh my
washed
God.
my body, and made sure the shower ain't touch your face. That's skills. Are you kidding me? I'll mess around and do my face on a Monday and don't wash it till Friday. Look, everybody like, that's bad for your skin. I'm like, not my skin. This is the golden
The crazy
skin.
thing is she's so serious, and look at her skin. No breakouts, no rashes.
I do it all the
no-
time, but I was born with real melanin. Like, I was born with real melanin.
I mean, I was too, but I get
I
breakouts.
mean, you do have melanin, but I was born with. Look, my hand the same color as this microphone. This
Stop
is
playing.
true, authentic cocoa butter melanin. It's like, look.
This is why you can't play around with Joncea.
So, question though,
Yes.
where are you from, and how did you end up in Los Angeles?
I am from Detroit, Michigan, the east side to be exact. 7 Mile, Better Mile. Okay. I'm not a part of like any gangs or anything, okay? But I just like saying
I
that
was gonna say, you
because
did throw
I spent
something
a
up
lot
right
of majority
there.
of my life on 7 Mile on the east side.
So 7
7
Mile
Mile
and
and
8
Conant.
Mile and all that for people that's not from Detroit is real from the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you give us a famous person from 7 Mile that we can kind of reference?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Besides you, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, you got to put on
Because
there.
all
Go
the
ahead.
famous people that people know, like Cashed Out,
Eminem.
Eminem lived in trailer parks across 8 Mile. That's Warren, Michigan. You know what I'm saying? Once you cross 8 Mile, you in Warren.
Tell him the truth.
But,
man,
he-
sister.
He claims Detroit, so amen, Detroit. Because it's in the area. It's right there. You know
Breaking
what I'm saying?
news, y'all. Eminem is
But
not
Eminem
from
is
Detroit.
not
Don't
from
say that.
He's
8
not
Mile.
from Detroit.
He's from 8
I'm
Mile.
about to call
Nope.
Eminem right
He's
now.
from Michigan.
Get him on the phone, y'all.
He's
Get
from 8 Mile,
Eminem
but
on the
like,
phone.
but I'm just gonna be real. Like, when you cross so 8 Mile is an actual highway,
Right.
right? And so there are
Oh.
streets where you can be off of 8 Mile, but you can't just live on 8 Mile. You know what I'm saying? Like, so because it's a highway, right? So it's different from 7 Mile and 6 Mile and all of that because like those are actual streets and people can have their
Neighborhoods,
houses
right,
on the corner
makes
of those
sense.
streets. You can have your house on the corner of 8 Mile and such street, like 8 Mile and DeQuinder, 8 Mile and like, whatever. So that's possible. However, he lived in trailer parks, and trailer parks we know those to be across 8 Mile in Warren, Michigan, and that aspect, you know what I'm saying? So, but he probably, grew up in Detroit, hung around people in Detroit. I don't know where the man lived at.
He just
But when
crossed
you
the
go-
street.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
It's like the DMV. It's like
Yeah, but it's
people
like
from DC, but all they do is just cross the street and they be in Maryland.
Yeah, y'all rep the
It's
whole
like-
area.
but it's-
We have to because it's so small.
it's so small to like, like North Hollywood and downtown. Once you get from the 170 and cross over to the 101, you hitting
Yeah,
actually
but it's all
LA.
LA.
Yes, all LA County.
Yeah.
Right?
But it ain't really LA. Because people that's from here be like, No, that ain't LA. You be like, well, where am I? Golly, I don't understand. I write LA on my mail. It's like, you guys are like, no. It's
Okay,
not
so
LA.
enough about
Yeah, so
Eminem.
Detroit, 7 Mile.
Yes, I'm from Detroit on the east
Shout
side.
out to Detroit.
Um,
My
I
ex-boyfriend from
went.
Detroit.
Oh shit.
We'll talk about that next
Help
show.
us, help
Go
us,
ahead.
Lord, help us, Lord.
Oh
So
shit.
I decided when I was in high school that I wanted to be a talk show host. I used to go home and watch the Tyra Banks show every day.
Oh,
And Tyra Banks was my inspiration.
mine too, to wear my makeup overnight. But go ahead.
OMG.
We got something in common.
So she inspired me so much because like her show was just so real. No topic was off limits. She used to like just fall out of her chair, rolling on the floor, laughing at her guests, and I'm like, I want to be like that. Because
Me
at first,
too.
people used to tell me like, Portia, you so smart, you could be a doctor. And all my life, I have been a dancer. Dance is my first love. So I'm in high school, literally as a dance major, deciding that I want to talk for a living and not dance no more. But my first dream was to be a background dancer for Sierra. I still have that dream though.
Sierra.
Yeah, because you know she my
Somebody
favorite
call
dancer in the
Sierra.
world.
It's like, look, I came back.
She my favorite dancer in the world, but that was my
She's
first
so
dream,
dope.
okay? And
Mhm.
so, but around the time of watching Tyra Banks and people telling me like, "You so smart, you could be a doctor." I'm like, okay, what kind of doctor do I want to be? I want to be a doctor that talks to people because everybody used to come and talk to me and tell me their issues and all of that. So I'm like, I'm gonna be a therapist. And then I start watching Tyra, and I'm like, bump the office. I'm about to do this junk on TV. Come sit and
Yes,
talk to me
TV.
on my couch, and we can have televised therapy, okay?
Yes.
I no longer want your problems. You know what I'm saying? Like, I no longer want to do therapy, but we about to have a good time on this couch still, okay? And so I decided that for my life. And then I tried to come to LA right out of high school because I'm like, the only way I'm going to get in the entertainment industry is if I go to LA right now. USC didn't accept me. So I said, okay, they didn't want, a little black girl from the east side of Detroit. So I'm going to go to a black school.
Yeah.
So I applied to Tennessee, Howard, and Clark, Atlanta. Tennessee State was the first people to accept me. Now, the other two schools definitely accepted me. But since Tennessee State was the first one, I decided to do my research. I had friends that went to the black college. They're like, Tennessee State was our favorite school. You should go there, da-da-da-da-da. And I did some research, found out Oprah went there.
Oh.
So I went to Tennessee State University because Oprah did. I got involved in radio because of her. And I also interned for the news station she anchored at, News Channel 5 in Nashville, Tennessee.
Really?
My senior year, yeah. And then I went and started the Portia Carter Show in school my senior year. So I was just hitting the ground running like, I'm going to make sure these dreams come true. So by the time I graduated, and I graduated early because I was supposed to do 4 years, only did 3.
Come on, Portia
And so,
Carter.
because I'm like, I got dreams. I want to get up out of
Overachieving.
here,
Let's
right?
Go. You going to have twins,
And
too.
as soon, I rebuke that in the name of Jesus.
Oh, sorry.
I'm
Sorry.
not having 2 kids at one time.
Overachievers be having twins.
Please, Lord, don't do that to me. Okay. My body too little.
Shut him down. Turn him around.
My body too little. I need one at a time. But
I ain't never heard
so
nobody say that.
when I graduated, I decided like, okay, I'm gonna take this leap of faith and I'm about to go out to LA where I wanted to be originally. And that is how I ended up in LA. I believe that this is the city of my dreams. So I'm like, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna be one of the world's greatest talk show hosts next to Oprah Winfrey, but I'm gonna be great.
Okay. That. So, tell everybody how we met then.
So
Here in
when I
LA.
got to LA,
The day she got to LA. No,
so when I got to LA, crazy thing, stuff just hit the ground running. I had like so many interviews, with networks and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't getting those jobs. I didn't even know why, but God had a plan. He worked it all out. And so I had interviews like my first 3 days, and then I'm just like, I need to find a church to go to. Ended up finding one church through watching Devon Franklin go off on somebody for talking about Megan the way she was looking.
Oh, yeah.
When they did
I
that
was there
interview,
that day.
I watched that clip and it went viral. I said, what church is it? Because they said this is in LA. That's how I found one church.
Really?
Yes. And so I'm like, I'm going to that church. And
Just
I go
because
to
Devon was kirking out. You was like, this the church for me.
I said, it's the church for me,
Oh,
okay?
Jesus, that's exactly how you found Joncea in the ghetto church where people cussing
okay.
people out.
Okay, he ain't really cussed the woman out. He was just basically like,
No, he went in. I was right there on the front row. I was on the prayer team. So
Okay. So went to church that day. That weekend my first weekend there, went to church. And it was the 1:00 service because I lived all the way in Orange County because I had a distant cousin that I was staying with when I first got out there. Had just met her too. I'm like, I need to find anybody I can stay with out
girl,
there.
I know.
And so I found a distant cousin that I was staying with in Orange County. And I'm driving and I missed the 11 o'clock on the road because 2 hours away. So then when I finally get there, I get to the 1:00. But at that time, he ain't at the 1:00 no more. So they pull him up on the screen. And when they pulled him up on the screen, I said, "Your girl is out. I ain't got time for this." I drove all this far for this man to get pulled up on the screen.
Girl, he be
So I
rolling out.
stood up, and Holy Spirit was like, "Just sit down."
Ooh.
And I sat back down. And that message that day was stay lit. And I love lights. I love lights that shine in darkness. That's why I love like nighttime city views.
Come on
I
now.
feel like I am a light. And so he preached on staying lit. And so I feel like that message was so for me. It was to the point where he touched me so deeply through that screen, I was crying. Okay? And I was crying to the point where I'm like, I need somebody to pray for me. And before he even called altar call, I was already getting up because I saw the prayer team lining up. I said, "Oh, they coming out the woodwork. Let me go."
That was our third service of praying for people too.
As soon as I got up, I walked straight to the front, and Joncea was right there in my view. And as soon as I walked up to her, she was like, "You just got here, didn't you?" I'm like, "Yes." And she's just like, "Oh, so you just moved out to LA to chase your dream." She gave me my whole rundown of my whole life and was like, "James 1 is going to be your testimony."
Oh,
She was like,
sound
"Study
like
James."
me.
She said, "Study James 1. That's going to be your
that's
testimony."
my favorite scripture.
She said, "Count it all joy. So much stuff going to happen. Count it all joy." And then she prayed for me. And it was like, after that, hit the ground running. Because that next week,
Wait a minute, I prayed for you and I gave you my number and I said,
oh, yeah.
if you need anything,
Call
call
me.
me because like by that time, how many years ago was that?
5.
5 years. So I had already been here 4 years.
February 2016.
So I was 4 years old. You were brand new, a day old, 2 or maybe a week old. And I just remember I just know how dangerous LA could be if you don't
Yeah.
have anyone to talk to lean on, to pray for you, whatever.
Yeah.
So I gave you my number and I said, call me if you need anything. But I did not know. It's like, no.
That 2 weeks later,
I said,
my distant cousin was like,
God.
"Hey, so a situation is happening. We got to rearrange some things, and we're going to need you to find somewhere to go." I had just got a job at Dunkin' Donuts, too, out there in Irvine. And I was working at Dunkin' Donuts like a week. I'm like, okay, I can try my best to, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get my feet
humble.
wet.
That
Because I'm
is
like, I told God, I'm like,
humility.
I need a job. And, you know, I wasn't on no Dunkin' Donuts job, but I still just had to do what I had to do. And as soon as I was able to get income, she just like, yeah, some situations got to change. I called Joncea. She like, you know what? I ain't even got no good situation with my roommate, but come on. She said, you can come on. And I went on, and I stayed with her for 6 months.
That's why me and my roommate don't talk now. Like, 'cause
I stayed with her for 6 months.
I'm not gonna say just got an apartment, but me and he was my best friend at the time, Chico. We had got an apartment together. He moved here, and everything just went sour. It seemed like the second he got here.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I've been here a while, I realized that LA, everything that happens bad, it's like a death, and from every death there has to be a birth.
Yeah.
And that's basically what happened. Yours just started so fast. See, things don't happen to everybody out here.
Yeah.
But Chris Rock is the one that told me that the more stuff happened to you, the bigger you're gonna be.
Ooh.
And yours happened 2 weeks in. Mine didn't even happen for like a year in. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
You was good your first year.
I didn't say it was good. It was a very difficult transition. I wasn't good, but it seemed like after the first year here, everything just started going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Cars got started getting stolen. Like during my first year, but like maybe 6 or 7 months. Cars was getting stolen. Apartment, I lost my apartment. It was a lot just going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember you calling me and me just saying, you know what? Because I remember sleeping on the street. I remember not having nobody. I remember sleeping in my car. And me and my roommate, we were done anyway. I already knew. We don't even ever talk. I call this man my roommate, and he was my best friend. Like, we would talk for hours after just seeing each other. We were really, really close. We see each other now, and it's like drop dead friends. I'm serious. Respectfully, I say hello because it's, you know, we're in public, and I'm never going to disrespect anyone in public. But we say hi, and that's it. And it's a shame because we need each other because we're from the same town and all that. But that's neither here nor there. Porchia came in, and I had already had, my mama called them strays. She said, Joncea, you always taking it astray. I had already had one girl living there on the couch. Then I was like, you might as well just come on and live on the couch too. Before I knew it was like 4 y'all downstairs, and I was upstairs, and he was upstairs. Oh, he hated me. Oh my God. I didn't care because I looked at it like, what, Nick?
In hindsight, why do you think it didn't work out?
Why do I think me and him didn't work out?
Yeah, like the situation, like in hindsight.
Oh, I know it didn't work out because it was just so much going on that had nothing to do with LA. We just had differences. I actually how it all started. I was late on one of my rents, but I was only 1 week late. I was going home to do a show to get the money, but see, he hadn't lived here yet. I had already been here 3 years, so I knew how LA was. You know what I'm saying? I know you can have the rent late a week, and I know it's a struggle and all that. He just completely never paid rent again. So we ended up getting evicted. All of us ended up getting evicted. It was a lot going on, but in the midst of that, Porchia was the biggest joy. The atmosphere, you know what I'm saying? Even though we was going through a lot, we still prayed together. Like she ended up joining the prayer team at the church. You know, life was just what it had to be.
Yeah.
Now that we're here and you understand it and you 5 years in, and remember I told you whatever you do, just don't leave.
Yeah.
Because that's what Chris Rock told me. He said, well, no matter what goes on, you can't win, you can't make it, you can't be a star if you leave.
Yeah.
Just don't leave, is what he said. And I'm telling you, it was times where I barely could wipe my butt. Like, I remember I had to wash up in the grocery store, and I called my mother, and she was just like the greatest inspiration ever. She would be like, well, if I was you, I would just be thanking God that there is a grocery store for you to wash up in. I mean, make the sunshine, okay, lady? And that's what I would do.
Amen.
I would be praising God that there was a grocery store, to the point where the people at the grocery store, 5 a.m. every morning, would be like, hey, Joncea.
Absolutely
Because
not.
I had to pee. I had to boo-boo. I had to wash. I had to pee. I was living in my car.
Wow.
They knew me. The people at the grocery store knew me. They would give me all the samples. I mean, I see some of them now, and they'll be like, hey, y'all. But it's a part of the journey. This isn't anything I had to do, but I had to do it if I want what I want. If this was easy, everybody would be doing it.
Yeah.
It would be, it would be everybody's portion, but it's not. So, tell me the difference between LA and Detroit.
Oh my gosh. I don't want to talk bad on my city that I'm from. So I'll just talk about the beauty of LA and just paint the picture.
Okay.
So this was my first time seeing palm trees.
Same.
I was able to drive and see mountains in front of me and in my rearview mirror.
Same.
Like all around mountains. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. It's sunny all the time. Like you don't have like eyesores of neighborhoods. Like everything is depending on where you go.
Right. I'm sitting here like,
Depends on where you go, but I've always been in like the valley area.
And
You
me
know what I'm
too.
saying?
No
And the
offense-
valley looks
no
nice.
offense to
You
nowhere
can't,
else.
but you can't say that the valley doesn't look nice.
I love the valley. That's
Like
the only place
I love
ever
NoHo
lived.
Arts District. That's where I've lived like for 4 years. Like literally, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, and I think I'm gonna leave that there as far as the comparison. It's
Okay.
beautiful.
Okay.
Cause and then also, I hate cold weather. Detroit scarred me for life. Like I used to have to catch the city bus to school, and especially ain't no shutdown when you get like feet and feet and feet of snow. Like I used to have snow up to my thighs standing at the bus stop, and the way DDOT system worked, Detroit's transportation system, it's so cold. Everybody trying to catch the bus. If the bus is packed, they will pass you up. So now you got to wait another 15 and then sometimes 30 because they don't know when they want to come for another bus to come. And if that bus is packed, they going to pass you up. So you standing there in the cold crying and your tears freezing on your face. You get what I'm saying? Nose running and it's coming out like icicles. Like, absolutely not. I couldn't do it no more. I said, the cold is not my life.
I ain't
And
gonna
here we
lie,
are.
y'all. I'm not gonna lie. DC is right about now, it's freezing out there, and it's gonna get colder by the minute.
And I don't have to experience that being in LA, which is why I'm just
Don't.
like, with this next transition, I'm like, Lord,
We
what's
gonna
going
talk
on
about
with me?
that. We're gonna talk about that,
But yeah, that's a really big difference, the weather.
I
And
think-
it's sunny
I think-
all the time here.
I think
Detroit has a lot of cloudy days. I ain't even gonna
I
hold you.
think the difference between DC and here is people think different. People dream different here. It's like I feel like people understand me more here. Like at home, I never, and no shade to nobody, but I never wanted to be the person that, worked 365 days of the year and got paid only 26 of those days. Like as a kid, I could never grasp getting paid every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like only 26 of those days you get paid, and there's 365 days in a year. I could never grasp that. That's
Yeah.
why I was all the different things. I was a, you know,
I know exactly what you
I
were.
was a hairstylist. I was a hustler. I was a hustler. And every way you could hustle, I did it because I never could grasp that concept. But I always wanted to be a stand up comedian.
Mhm.
And it was just something that never made sense to my parents and all of
Mhm.
that when, that doesn't make sense in DC. You're government. You're only government there.
Mhm.
Unless you be a doctor or a lawyer or hairstylist maybe. But you're not, nobody's really like, I want to be an entertainer. And if they do, they leave. Not saying we don't have comedians and all that. We do. We have great comedians, comedy, stuff like that. But to go to its highest level, you have to leave, and people don't understand. Why would you leave a six-figure hair salon to come here and be absolutely broke or never know? And it's like, I don't know. I can't even explain. I have no answer for that answer.
Mm.
And I feel like out here, everybody has that same answer. Like, how are we here when we're the only ones in our head that can see the ending of to see or understand this vision, and we're stupid to our family, to our friends, and we're begging for money and all that. And you don't well out your welcomes to everybody. Gosh, she asked for money again, but I don't care. I just want everybody to know I never cared what nobody said or thought of me, because at the end of the day, I've always shitted on whoever I needed to shit on, and I don't mean it in an arrogant way, but I feel snot coming on my nose, so God probably didn't want me to say that. I'm gonna have to wipe the snot. I don't see a napkin. Look, but in every way, like when I was at home, I did very, very well. I could easily go home and open a hair salon again, but that's not, I just feel that's the difference between where I'm from and here. Like people just think different. They think on a higher level of thinking.
Mhm.
At home, they think safe. It's safe. It's comfortable. You know, the houses, the cars, and where I'm from, people got money. Like they got nice houses, nice cars, like good jobs. They six-figure niggas all by themselves. Some of them 80,000, 90,000 a year just working government jobs and stuff like that.
They
Yeah.
got money.
Oh no. Where I'm from, like Prince George's County is the highest paid county for blacks in the whole entire United States. In just my one little area, they got money. Like no, people are not messed up like that. But it's a difference in dreams and ambitions.
Yeah.
Here, you know what I'm saying? But question. So, what's the craziest thing that happened to you here in LA?
The craziest thing, me renting a studio situation in the back of a house and paying for it in advance for it was supposed to be a sublet situation and the girl was supposed to leave. Don't really know the girl like that. You know what I'm saying? Just seen her a couple times. I think we was on the dance team at church together, but I had never seen her before until like one day, and she just like, anybody need some, a sublet situation, and she never left.
Oh my God.
She never left, and I started moving, my stuff in, and I spent the night there on an air mattress while she's in the air mattress laying next to me, and like two air mattresses on the side of
air
each
mattress
other.
in each other.
And I'm just like, I brought my air mattress and stuff in thinking that I was about to have this situation to myself, because it's like a house in the back of a house, like a little
Right.
small house. And so, private bathroom, all of that. And I'm thinking like I'm about to have this place to myself, but come to find out I got scammed. She wasn't leaving. And then told me I had to go 3 weeks in, and I had already gave her my money. And that was one of the craziest things because I didn't go to jail. And I, Porchia Carter from Detroit, on the east side of Detroit, had the opportunity to go to jail from beating her you know what.
Yeah, or kill her.
But I literally had to pull it together.
That's what LA do.
I had to pull it together. Like, I think somebody had talked me out of it. And I had to pull it together.
Was it me? Because I feel like...
I had to pull it together and
Yeah.
leave that situation alone and just like, okay, where's my next move? And then my next move was renting a couch for 6 months for like almost $600.
Well, I just want to tell you that there's a scripture in the Bible that says, God will make your enemies your footstool.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, when they look at that, be like, walk all over my enemies, this and that, this and that. But that's not what that scripture means. It means, if you think of a footstool, because you're a little shorter than a lot of people. Not a lot, but, she a little height challenge. But she dope and bad. Her whole body, everything. She bad to the bone. Don't let her be spoken. But you know how you have to use something as a footstool, something to step up
Yeah.
and grab higher?
Yeah.
That's what that scripture means. So your enemies is used as your footstool to step up over it, to step up over the situations, to step up over the things. And I know exactly the more of them you have, the closer you are to your destination.
Amen.
I'm telling you, it sounds crazy, but I think the craziest thing that happened to me is two, but I'm not even going to talk about one because it really still makes me want to fuck the girl up. Excuse my language. It makes me, boy, and I know she's reachable, so I need to grow up. Sorry, God, that I even went back there, but ooh. But when I first moved here, my mom gave me $1,000 to put down on the car. Girl, I put the $1,000 down on the car. I'm driving. I'm on the highway. The car completely shuts down on the exit. Completely just shuts down. And I called him like, yo, the car is not working. And I'm blocking an exit at that. I'm new in LA. People are cussing me out because I'm on like, I don't even remember. I think it was the the La Brea exit, I think, in Hollywood. Whatever it was blocking everything. And I was in the way. It was 2 lanes, though, but one lane was a turning lane. The other lane was going another way. I'm blocking the lane that's turning left. Man, they was cussing me out and everything. I called the people, and they were like, oh, okay, we'll send a tow truck, this and that, this and that. Okay, they never sent a tow truck. I had to end up getting a tow truck from somebody else. Towed the car back to them, y'all. I said, I just want my money back. I don't want, just want my money back, whatever. They gave me $1,000 check. Took it to the bank. Check
Bounced.
not clear. They don't even cash it. I didn't deposit it because they just didn't even cash it. It was like, not yet. Bring it back tomorrow, whatever. I brought it back for a week. Called them, nothing. Went back up there. It was like a ghost town. All the cars were gone. The people were gone and everything.
So they stole your money.
Took my G, and I cried like a baby. I cried and cried and cried, and I remember my friend Kamira. That's when I found out who the thug of all thugs was. My friend Kamira White was like, I'm a Crip, homie. I call the Crips. We could go kill them. We shoot them up, this and that, this and that, this and that. And I was just like, oh, my God. Like, I'm thinking, and I'm about one of the toughest chicks you ever gonna meet. But I just started thinking, oh, my God, like, no, I don't want you to call the Crips because I don't know nothing about no Crips and all that. You know, where I'm from, you can have any color on and we'll kill you. I don't know how serious these red and blue people are, this life. So I'm like, no, she's like, no, homie, we ain't doing it. We going up that joint with the guns and we gonna shoot that place. And I'm like, no, not over $1,000. I can't go to jail over $1,000. Actually, my mother is the one who talked me out of it because I was down for a second. My mother was like,
of course,
I just want you to know that no one's going to be able to bail you out if you go to jail all the way out there. You don't know nobody. Nobody's going to bail you out. I was just like, this is crazy. It was the craziest thing ever that they were gone, though. Where they go? How you going to be gone completely? The cars, the office, and everything. I'm like, did I get them in trouble? They was on. Anyway, that's crazy. Okay. So, you said that you are a talk show host.
Yes.
A host. So, how did you become that? Or did we already talk about that?
Yeah. I went to school for it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was a mass communications major. However, when I got there, I was in the journalism track. But what they did was I was talking to so many advisors and professors and all of that. They created a new track, and I was the first student to get put into it. And that track was called Media Leadership and Performance. So you work on all things entrepreneurship in the arts, performance, because it was performance-based too. So they taught us how to be on camera, how to actually do the things. And then I got put in news. I was the head news anchor for 2 years. I got put in radio. I did operations manager of the radio station. Like, I literally just got my feet wet in college with my hosting gift. And then at the end, in my senior year, I created the Porchia Show. And then from that, I took that experience and then just did freelance hosting when I came out in LA.
So I have a question.
Yes.
The Porchia Show is this huge show, right?
Yes.
This huge, just dynamic show.
Yes. I dream it every day.
Who is your first person you're interviewing on your huge show?
Blair Underwood.
Blair Underwood. I didn't see it coming. Did you?
I didn't see it coming either.
Yes, Blair.
Let me tell you why.
Yes, please.
So, currently, wrapping up, I work for the Television Academy, which is the office of the Emmys. And at this time, before I moved up into HR, I was working at the reception desk. And while I was working at the reception desk, Blair Underwood comes in, and he says, can I drop these screeners off? Because you would have like TV screeners that you could drop off to recycle, whatever. And I'm just like, yeah. And so he was like, oh, and then, so when he dropped the screeners off, he came over to the table, and he's just like, hi, my name is Blair. He was like, can I use your restroom? I'm like, I know who you are, Mr. Blair Underwood. And I was like, I'm Porchia. And he was like, wow, nice to meet you, Porchia. And he was like, can I use your restroom? I'm like, yeah. He came in at 5:30, so I'm already off the clock, about to get ready to go. So he goes to the bathroom, and I was about to go into the kitchen to get me some water. And I went and got a water, and I wasn't supposed to take one of these, forgive me, but they had Fiji waters, in the kitchen.
Yes, you can.
And so I went and grabbed me a Fiji water, and I'm walking out with my Fiji water, and then I literally feel, I believe it was God, was like, go back and get him one too. And I was about to go. I wouldn't even think about him. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not celebrity crazy. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like I don't be fangirling at people.
You can't be.
But when I felt it in my spirit to go back and get him one, I'm like, okay, now I got to talk to him. So I went and got him a water, and then I went outside and I waited for him to come out of the building. So he comes out of the building. I'm like, hey, I grabbed one of these for you. He said, wow. Thank you. He was like, and this one of the good waters. You know what I'm saying? Because it's me. You know what I'm saying? He like, and this one of the good waters. He said, man, I got a long ride home. I was going to need this. He was like, I don't know how you knew, but thank you. And I was just like, no, thank you. And then he was like, okay, so he was like, so you work at the reception desk here, right? And I was like, yeah, but it's just my day job. He said, okay, night job, dream. He was like, tell me. And I was like, I am going to be one of the world's greatest talk show hosts next to Oprah. And he said, can I be one of your first guests? And I said yes.
Wow.
And then he was like, so how did you come up with that dream? And I was just like, well, when I grew up, they used to tell me all the time that I talk too much in class. And he was like, I see, it makes sense. He was like, you gonna do it.
Yes.
And then he got in his little, what was it? Was it a Ferrari?
It was nice.
It was a convertible. It was nice. Nice little situation. He walked to his car, smiled at me, and I'm just like, I'm gonna hold him to his word. Because I didn't even offer. He asked me, could he be my first guest?
Oh man, that is the ultimate.
So once the Portia Carter show takes off big time, I'm gonna hit up Blair Underwood like, hey, remember you said?
Hey Blair.
Like he probably don't even remember me, but he gonna see this.
Girl. My right eye. What does it mean, y'all, when the right eye just be crying a little bit?
And then let me tell you something. I dream prophetically, right?
Yeah.
So I had this dream. I ain't gonna explain the whole dream, but at the end of the dream, Blair Underwood was there, popping up. I ended up on set with somebody. It was Brayley Evans and Blair Underwood.
Brayley was
Shout
sitting.
Out to Brayley. Brayley was sitting like it was like a staircase going up. Brayley sitting at the bottom of the stairs, laughing at what just happened to me. And then there was Blair Underwood hiding up under the stairs, like under some clothes in a bucket. I guess he was tired. He like, y'all cut the cameras like situation. And so I was like, so he had like a shirt over his head. So he pulled it off. I said, is that Blair Underwood right there? And so I walked over. I said, Blair. I'm like, do you remember me? And he was like, yeah. I'm like, do you remember what I told you about my dreams and how I want to do da-da-da-da? He said, yeah, and I still believe you're going to do it. He said that in a dream. Wow. And so that's how I know my dreams are going to come true. That was the confirmation that God sent me. And this is a year after, maybe 2 years after running into him.
Wow.
And I had that dream.
Wow.
Yeah.
So before we end, because this is only going to be an hour show. Usually the Joncea show is an hour and a half, but today it's going to be an hour. Because, this is a busy day. It's a busy day for Portia and I, but I just had to get her. I had to have Portia on the Joncea show. But tell us what is in your future. Tell us what's going on. I really am excited, but I want to know what's going on.
So my current life right now, I am transitioning and moving to New York. And this is outrageous for me because, as y'all know, I just explained in the beginning of the show, I don't do the code. I hate it with a passion. But as I said, I dream prophetically, and I had a dream about it July 10th, God gave me the revelation for August 3rd. And so from August 3rd until now, I have been mentally preparing myself for this transition. It's just like he gave me so much confirmation and so many signs and wonders happened that, like, it's clear as day. Like, an email popped up on my phone after so many signs, and the title of the email says, "So, dot, 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 you need more clarity? Question mark."
Okay,
Like,
so
stop asking
can I get
about these confirmations.
I am a person.
What?
Let's just say I'm a person that's just listening, and
Uh-huh.
everybody's talking about this God or this whatever, whatever.
Mhm.
Give me an example of how you could be loving LA, living this life, working for the Emmys, you know, doing all this stuff, and all of a sudden, what was it about a dream that could just make you leave? And before she answers that, I want to say something to you guys. It's a scripture that says obedience is better than sacrifice.
Mhm.
So tell me give me an example of what your obedience was that would make you, you know.
So I had the dream, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I was trying to figure out the revelation for the dream, somebody sent me a screenshot of something that I looked up in the dream that looked the exact same.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. Let me just tell it real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. We
So
got time.
the dream that I had was, okay, now mind you, I am currently having this dream not in LA. I was traveling. And so I have been trying to get back to LA. So I have this dream. I'm sitting in this church. It got burgundy pews, chairs stuck together. There's young people all over the place. And I'm getting up and heading towards the mic, like towards the pulpit of the church. Like I'm about to go speak. And I hear Holy Spirit. This is in my dream. He said, take out your phone, look up these places to live. He gave me Van Nuys Tower. He gave me New York Tower. And I said, okay, cool. I automatically wake up and think of this place that I know in Van Nuys, you know, that has the name Tower in it. And so, long story short, that place didn't work out. So
Which
then
is
now I'm
in
questioning,
LA.
which is in LA. Yeah, because Van Nuys is in LA County, right? And it's, you know, in the valley where I've been, you know what I'm saying? So that place did not work out. So now I'm questioning my dream. I'm like, okay. So then the revelation that I got of the dream, now this is by like August 2nd. I'm like, okay, the revelation of the dream, I'm going to say that is what the scripture says when it says the name of the Lord is a strong tower, the righteous run in and they are safe. He gave me a few different places with the name Tower in it. And so that's what he wants me to know. Wherever I go, I'm safe with him. He's my strong tower and I'm safe with him. I'm going to just leave it at that. In prayer, I felt a nudge in my spirit to say, look into this New York portion of the dream, though. Because, you know, I've already lived in Van Nuys. I've already, you know, been in this situation. I've already lived in LA. So I'm just like, okay. So my friend Googles New York Tower and screenshots it and sends it to me. The very thing that it looked like in that screenshot is what it looked like when I Googled it on my phone in my dream. And so that's when I was just like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? And then that next day, I was just like crying and anxious, like, Lord, I need clarity. Like, why would you want me to look into this? You know, people start randomly asking me, was I moving there? A friend told me she was moving there. So a friend that I was trying to come stay with. Like, so much stuff just started happening with New York, like random conversations. People randomly sending me videos and they're talking about mandatory vaccinations in New York. And I'm just like, it was just so much. And I'm just like, okay, we got to hold on a second. And then not only that, I, you know, HR at my job, at the TV Academy or whatever, we're hiring for 3 open positions. 95% of these resumes, because I'm screening the resumes to send them to the hiring manager, 95% of these resumes that day, these people were either from New York, live there now, or worked there before. So New York is all over all of their resumes. And I'm like, do these people even know that they applying to somewhere in LA? Because it was getting crazy. And I'm just like, I'm just seeing it like so much. And I'm like, this can't be a joke. Like,
Yeah.
Like, this is definitely God speaking to me, because I asked him to speak to me how he speaks to me, like how he know that I could see it. And so he used my job. He used my job to confirm it. And then that's when I got that email. So, ... you need more clarity. Not only that, he gave my sister a dream about it. Like, it was like all kind of stuff just started happening. I'm just like, okay, I see what you're doing now. Let me accept it. And so when I decided to accept it, that's when confirmation took place. So the stuff that was happening that was giving me clarity that this is what God was doing was like direction. Okay, so he wants me to go there. And then he since then, he has been giving me a lot of different revelations on the dream. Like, I'm going to be living a bi-coastal life, which is why he gave me both points. And then, you know, my life in Van Nuys is when I live with you, is when me and his relationship grew tighter. And so that's how it's going to be when I get to New York, which is why I saw both places too, right? So the biggest part of confirmation, I went out there because I'm like, okay, You want me to go there? Let me go out there and scout out the land. I go out there and I find a place. I'm like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I was supposed to be going there to search for jobs or what. I'm just like, somebody told me like, because I was like, I had asked a question from Prophetess Tiffany Montgomery, and I'm like, if God told you to move across the country, would you wait for the when and how strategy, or would you go with no job, no place, no nothing? And she said the when and how strategy is when he said move. You'll most likely get your next set of instructions when you get there.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay. She said move. Okay, he said move, so I gotta go. So I just went out there to just like try to see, but that was a round trip ticket, and so I feel like I didn't get no instructions. But I went and saw 5 apartments there. The very first one I saw, I loved it, called Paradise, right? So when I came back, I had a full circle moment there that blew my mind too. But when I came back, I was still questioning because I'm like, I don't want to leave LA. I love it so much. Like, I hate the cold situation. And so I'm on my way back to LA one day. Excuse me. And it was like a road trip situation because I was not too far away. And so I'm driving. And I'm like, Lord, I want my own place. Because at this point, for a whole year, I had been bouncing around in travel. So I'm like everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like Phoenix, Detroit, Atlanta, like so many places. And so I'm like, Lord, I want to get planted. I want to get replanted because I left with my own place. I left LA with my own place. And I need to come back with my own place.
During COVID, y'all.
Yeah, during COVID.
There's nothing to do here, so most people left and went around family or whatever.
Yeah, so it was last year around this same time, literally. Mm-hmm. And so I had been back and forth to I had been, in LA though. You know what I'm saying? It's just I was traveling too. So I'm on my way back and I'm like, I'm about to come get my own place. I'm about to get planted. I don't care, because I'm like, at this point, God, you ain't moving, so I'm about to go and find this place. You got me, like, you know what I'm saying? And I was thinking that, and then I had another thought about New York, and I'm like, Lord, do you really want me to move to New York? A car gets in front of me while I'm about to turn on the highway to come to LA. It's an apartment search. A car gets in front of me with the name Paradise on it. The same name of the apartments that I saw that I liked in New York. Mm-hmm. It was at that moment that all of my apartment searching desires in LA went out the window. I said, the Lord is about to give me paradise, right? This is what I decided in my mind. This was a confirmation to me. However, it hadn't even happened yet. But I decided to take a leap of faith. So 2 weeks later, I quit my job, not knowing where I was going to stay in New York or nothing. I quit my job, but I bought a one-way flight, leaving out soon. Quit my job, bought a one-way flight, and was like, I don't know, Lord, I'm just taking a leap of faith. I'm just about to jump out there. You saying go, and there's like an urgency in my spirit. When you really have a relationship with God, He going to speak to you, and it's going to be urgency when He says move, because you're going to know it, because it's going to be boiling up inside of you. Mm-hmm. So this is boiling up inside of me. Like, I ain't just quitting my job for no reason. I'm literally following the Lord. I hear His voice. I see what's going on. He making it plain as day. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so this plain as day is happening. So I quit my job, put in a 2 weeks notice, bought a one-way flight. 5 days later, He blessed me with paradise. A miracle, y'all. It's no way in the world I should have gotten approved for this apartment. No way in the world. But God did it. And so that was my holding on to confirmation that, okay, He really wants me out there. He wants me out there now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Can you pass me that book right there?
Oh, yeah.
So, y'all, Miss Carter has written a book already. And I feel like a peasant because when Porchia and I moved,
absolutely not,
moved with me, I was writing a book, and my book is not done. And here it is 5 years later. Porchia wrote a book, and the name of
she
her
read
book,
my introduction in 2016, y'all.
I did, and I read her mind, and mine's is still. I asked her the other day, "You want me to read you my introduction?" She's like, "No, you read it," and I'm like, "I did." And if you notice, I already put it out there. The name of my book is Unwavering Faith. It will be ready January the 1st.
Okay, come on, please.
Messing with Porchia, I was like, we ain't giving. I'm going to get on my stuff. Get on my stuff. Well, my girl, tell me about your book, Porchia.
So the book is called All Things Work Together by Porchia Carter. You can type it in on Amazon. You can also go to www.porchiacarter.com to get a signed copy if you want that. Okay, so the book is called All Things Work Together, and it's based off the scripture Romans 8:28 that says, now we know all things work together for the good of those who love God, to those who are the called according to His purpose. And so in our lives, we go through trials, tribulations, traumas, heartbreak, like all type of setups, all types of stuff, right? And so I took those kind of moments in my life and I explained how God worked them together for the good of the purpose that He's placed inside of my life.
Okay. So
Yes.
I just randomly picked a page.
Okay, what's up?
I don't know. I don't have no glasses on, but I'm gonna read how this worked for me. Is that
What
the new?
chapter is it?
I don't know.
You got to look at the top.
I'm looking at the top. It just says all things work together.
Okay.
I just randomly picked a page.
Crummy secrets work. Oh, you see that at the top? That's the
Oh, on the other side.
that's the chapter you on. That's chapter 4.
Crummy secrets work. Okay.
Crummy secrets is a really hard chapter for me. It was the last one I put in my book. Even though it's chapter 4, it was the last one I wrote because it was such a hard thing to talk about.
It's funny. I turned straight to this. I'm just gonna read
Crazy.
one sentence. It
Okay.
says, first and foremost, I do not in any way condone the things mentioned above at all. Tell me about that.
Well, crummy secrets, if you could guess. What would be crummy about it? This chapter is a chapter on molestation and pedophilia.
Wow.
And I experienced a lot of that growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And in school, in second grade, you 7 years old in second grade. So in second grade at Colin Powell Elementary in Detroit, Michigan, we had this assembly. And in this assembly, there was people who came dressed as characters. And the characters were like a glass of milk, a cookie, and then there was like an adult present or whatever, like a regular person. And so they were acting out this scene. The milk, I believe, touched the butt of the cookie and crumbs came off. And the milk told the cookie, don't tell anybody. Right? Told the cookie, don't tell anybody. And so the cookie didn't and just ran around with the crumbs just spilling up behind it. And so, long story short, because I don't remember everything that happened.
Sounds like library theater.
Yeah. I don't remember
the
everything
people
that happened, but the adult was like, anytime something happens to you, if somebody touch you inappropriate, and they showed the places of inappropriate touching. If somebody touches you inappropriate, they said, do not keep crummy secrets. Tell an adult, right?
Wow.
And I'm watching this, and I'm taking it in. But by 7 years old, I had already had crummy secret experiences.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm sitting there like, I already didn't say nothing. And I literally didn't say nothing until I wrote it.
Oh, shit. So, this just happened to be R. Kelly's week, and I just want to say, and this isn't really a funny moment.
And so when I say I don't condone the things written above, it was because I spilled all the beans. I told every single thing, and I even told the parts that I played in my ignorance of, because when the spirits of pedophilia and molestation get inside of you, it breeds lust, promiscuity, so many things. And so I acted out in ways thinking that I needed to be touched and loved on in that way because it started at 5 and I had no idea, but there was a seed planted that grew.
And let me tell y'all, it's funny that she said something like that because I was just about to say, first of all, rape, pedophilia, all these different things, they're not good. You know who you are, and they affect us forever. They don't stop affecting us. So just know if you've done it or if you know someone that's done it, the victim, we just learn to live with it. But I'm talking about kids. Like, watch your kids, watch who they are around. I mean, because these pedophiles, they usually don't get punished. They usually just go on and they touch a million more people. I remember literally being at my dad's funeral, and me and some cousins was talking about a touchy uncle. And one of my cousins was like, he ain't never touched me. And I'm sitting up there like, he must just didn't never touch you, because he definitely touched us all. We were having a conversation of it. And my uncle literally was like, look how beautiful you've grown at my dad's funeral. Things we don't talk about. Things people don't know.
Keeping crummy secrets.
Yeah, because that's how, especially in the black community, we're taught to sweep bullshit under the rug, and it affects us. And I'm just saying, get this book, support Porchia. I'm gonna put your Cash App up. Nick, can you put her Cash App up in the comments?
Money sign Porchia.
I'm proud of you.
Wow, thank you.
Anybody that's watching this, especially if you know somebody in New York, make a phone call. Portia is on her way out there. She is looking for a great hosting job. I mean, we just gonna put it in the universe because we already know God is already working. And
Amen.
keep your faith. Hold tight to your faith. If nothing else, walk by faith, not by sight. Whatever is going on around you, and this is to everybody that's watching too. Whatever's going on around you it's just already happened.
Yeah.
That's why God does not want you to focus on sight. Like he is already past this point. So whatever you see, things you already know from living here in LA, this too shall pass.
Yeah.
Just remember that when you're in a situation, and remember you create your own reality by what you think, what you believe, how you love, how you give, how you receive. So I want to leave that with you, and I also want everybody to know that when you plant seeds, they must grow. So be careful where you plant a seed, be careful what you do to people, and just know that it will harvest. Every seed that you have planted will harvest, and anything you do in the name of the Father by faith, it's over. He is coming in a flash. So I'm excited.
Amen.
Y'all make
I
sure
received that.
you make sure if you're a person that pray, keep Portia in your prayers.
Hey, we need holy saints praying for me. Saints who ain't got no, you know what I'm saying? I'm just playing.
Yeah, everybody ain't supposed to pray for you. That's why the prayer team had a lot. We did a lot of screening. But and we had to pray a lot of them spirits off of us. That's why I say, girl, that by that time it was the third service. You hear me? Third service of you touching people and their problems. But that's neither here nor there. I appreciate you for coming on the show, man.
Thank you for having me. I feel so honored. You're amazing.
On my welcome back show, you are amazing too. And
No, for real. Once I'm trying to tell you, we blessings.
Portia,
We going up.
I can't wait. I'm serious. It's not many people that you can look at their life and see God in it as it's going. I'm serious. It's really not many people. Like you can see people doing great and growing and all that stuff, but I'm talking about seeing the God, seeing the reverence of look, yo, I'm taking this leap of faith, and it's not many people that you could watch God through.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to just watch God in your life. I'm about to cry. I'm just excited to just watch him because you're going to be so great. I know. She's like, your makeup, don't cry. I'm trying. I almost made it through the show, but I just know how good God is. And
thank you.
He's doing big things in every believer's life. And you're reaping. You're reaping everything that you sowed. So take this next chapter, keep writing, keep believing, keep growing, and just keep looking out. Keep being who you are, and don't worry about circumstances that you can't control.
Amen.
Control what you can control. And you're going to be great. Y'all will be watching the Porchia Carter show. I mean, you want a daytime show, right?
No. I want a primetime show with a daytime feel.
What's prime? See, I don't even know none of that now. A primetime show, is that not, what time?
Shows that come on past 5 o'clock.
Oh, see, and I want 11 o'clock.
You want a daytime show?
11 o'clock
in the morning.
Night.
Oh.
I want a nighttime show.
Okay, late night.
Late night. I want my show to be a show almost like Monique's was. I want it to be.
I love that show.
I know I did too. Oh, I love that show.
She used to open up with the band and come out dancing.
Yes.
You know
I want
love
it to be Monique
certain talk shows.
mixed with Ellen mixed with me.
Amen.
Like I want my show, but I don't want my show to be strictly celebrities. I want it to be. I want it to be the living room. I want it in the living room, just like this show. And
speak it all out.
I'm speaking it right now. I want celebrities and regular my homegirl, a guy I met at the subway. You know what I'm saying? I want us all sitting on the same couch, just talking. I don't believe in fame and all. I just can't get with it because the second, just like no shade, but R. Kelly deserved it and he made his own bed and everything like that. But the same people that bring you up will bring you down if you do something that they don't approve of. So I don't believe in fame. I just believe in people that admire your work.
Yeah.
Because we have different jobs from, everybody has a different job and they admire your work. Like, I don't believe in fans and fame, and that's why if somebody inboxes me, please, on Instagram, Ask, will you follow me this night? Yeah, why not? Where you taking me though? Let's go. I'm not here for that. But y'all, this has been the Joncea Show. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will be right back here this Friday, believe it or not, in 3 days at 11 o'clock. Make sure you tune in. Share this. Tell your friends about it. And please, y'all, if you have anything, let's bless Porchia the best way we can, because she has this long journey ahead of her. She has no idea how she's going to get income. She doesn't know anything. She just knows that God has blessed her with a place and that he's going to bless her with a job. But let's just send her off with a little something if we can, you know, So her Cash App is up, guys, in the comments. And I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Thanks for tuning in.